Hi, my name's Byron Martin here at Logie's Greenhouses, and today we're going to be talking about a rare succulent from Madagascar that makes a very nice houseplant or container plant. The name of the plant is, in scientific terms, is Operculicarya decaryi. Common name is elephant tree. And the reason for that is this, as the plant gets older, the bark or the stem actually becomes knobby and rough, almost like the skin of an animal. It is a dryland plant, although in many cases in our culture we can give it quite a bit of water and it doesn't seem to bother it. There's several ways to grow this. If you pot it and allow it to grow in its normal form, it actually will turn into a tree. And here we have a fairly large specimen of it that has been growing in the greenhouse for a number of years. And you can see it's really formed quite this tall tree. The top has been cut out of it just because it got too tall, and it would even grow taller than that. Or you can simply, with a little bit of pruning and some restrictions, you can maintain the tree at a much smaller state. This plant will continue to expand this way, but we're keeping the top pruned back for size. Or, and this is a small plant that has sat above a potting bench that one of our growers has kind of tended to somewhat. It's been grown quite dry, and you can see they've taken the stems and they've twisted them around to give it form. And it lives happily. It's been there for a number of years now, sitting above our potting bench. You get some light coming in from the greenhouses, and has done quite well. And I don't think this one actually gets as much water as these other larger ones. So that actually slows growth down. Interestingly enough, there's very few insect problems. We've never seen insects on it, whether it be mealybug or spider mite or thrip or any such insect problems. So it's pretty free of insects. And although it is a desert plant where it does take it dry, as you can see, this has been dried out pretty bad over the years, forgot and so on. It will take it quite wet. We've grown them in plastic pots where the water has stayed, the soil stayed moist for a number of weeks at a time in cooler weather, and it doesn't seem to hurt their root system. So they have a very vibrant and strong root system. It's a plant that will respond to fertilizer, so a balanced fertilizer given to it during its growing season. This is fall right now, and its growing season's coming to an end. Most of this growth here hardens off and stops through the winter time. It doesn't start again until springtime. So generally we back off on the feed then, but if you want the plant to grow rapidly and you want to get some size on it, it does respond very well to fertilizer. As far as pruning goes, that's something that can take many forms to it. And so these plants here we use as stock plants, so we're constantly harvesting cuttings off of it, which means we're constantly up here trimming back all the stems and the branches, snipping back any leads that get out of hand like this. And then we use these cuttings for propagation. If you didn't prune it back periodically, the thing will become quite sprawly. As you can see, these leads here are starting to expand themselves out. So it does need pruning for containment and for form. And so this is a good example. Now, these plants were not grown as for specimens, for their looks. This is really grown for propagation material, so we're encouraging as much branching as we can. But here you have a branch that's quite low down along the stem. If you wanted to expose this stem so that the plant actually over time would form that really beautiful knobby stem, you could trim off all these bottom limbs here and allow the top to be where the energy and the foliage grows. And then if you want to maintain the height on it, then you simply go up to the top here and you start trimming off some of these leads that have extended themselves out. And you do want to leave some foliage on it, as a plant does need to have some leaves and energy for it to grow. So it's a great plant for the house where temperatures are not going to really go much below 60. In terms of light level, it's best to give it as much light as you can, meaning full sun. These are trees that don't grow under shade. However, they can take lower light, and again we go back to this small plant here, which was really never in any direct sunlight at all during its growth. So they can tolerate that, but just remember you keep them near a window or in a window, whether east, west, or south, and they'll grow fine. Well, thank you for watching today. There's a little bit of information on how to grow the elephant tree, or Operculicarya, For more information, go to our website at logis.com.